So we checking us out, youtube.com. And also we're on Facebook, facebook.com/at Niners Radio 49. And we're going to so So if you guys want to check out Niners Radio 49 tonight, we're going to get you. We're going to right now send you over there the replay of Brock Purdy's press conference. This was early in the day. Then it's Nick Sorensen. Then our flashback segment, we continue our homage paying the 30-year anniversary of the 49ers' last Super Bowl win with a win over the Denver Broncos, going to Week 16 against the Denver Broncos at Candlestick Park. So let's go now. Without further ado, we're going to set this up. It will be. We're going to actually take this quick time out, and then we'll get you to Brock Purdy, then Nick Sorensen, then Niners Radio 49 flashback segment, the 30-year anniversary of the 1984 49ers. Professor B, you're watching 49ers Live tonight on Niners Radio 49 and on Facebook. Checking us out on. We're checking this out on Facebook.com and on our Facebook page as well. We'll be right back.
Like meaningless games. They're not high stakes here, like ever in his life. I was just wondering, when's the last time you team that was kind of out of contention?
Maybe college, like towards the end when like out of Big 12 contention, but outside of that, I've never played in a game where I've never tried or like for myself, man, I love the game of football and to go out and compete at any chance I can get. I don't know if I've ever played in a game that's ever been meaningless to me. So, yeah. No, yeah. I understand. I know. Yeah. But obviously, my first 2 years, I mean, we haven't. We've always been in contention and stuff. So, yeah.
Is there, with these last 3 games, is there anything in particular that you really kind of focused in on, an area where you think that there's just so much room to improve, and you guys need to build some momentum heading?
I think just offensively, man, just trying to play a complete game for each other. Obviously get the run game going, pass game, everything. Just get it clicking on all four cylinders, and I think just be able to play for 4 quarters, like a good, legit, complete game. Defense is playing great right now. Special teams is playing their best ball. So for us, it's like, all right, offense, let's get this thing going and look like the Niners that we all know.
Talk about the complete game that you want. Why is the fourth quarter
much different this year than last year? I mean, obviously last year you played with a bigger lead usually, but is there bigger pressure? Or defenses playing you guys differently? What's the difference this year with the fourth quarter?
I mean, I just think it comes down to, every drive matters. We get into it and it's like, you start thinking about what we could have done in the game, and we're in this situation and we shouldn't be in this situation. And for all of us, it's like, no, man, like that's the game of football. And so I think for all of us, we got to learn from that and be like, even if we are in this situation, like we got to find a way to finish and complete a game, even if we do have some mishaps and stuff that happen early on. So I think it's really just a mindset thing more than anything.
I'm sure you have more time to dig into it when the season's over, but how would you assess just how you've played this year and what kind of growth, or maybe step back, or just kind of the way you feel like you've progressed this season?
Yeah, I think there's some plays out there that I'd love to have back, and wish I could have been better for my team and for myself, and but at the same time, I feel like there's been some growth in my game that has happened, and really just I think like leadership wise with this team and sort of stepping up and when the team needs it, sort of just that they can hear from. And in the past, it's I've been sort of particular about when I speak and waiting for the right moment, but this year it's been more than it has. And so I don't know, I feel more comfortable in who I am, but also like I think I need to get better and get back to every game, every down, trying to prove to myself that I'm the guy for this team and I'm capable of doing it. And so that's sort of just been the case in moments, and gotta learn from that.
Back to playing with a chip on your shoulder, do you feel like it hasn't been there, and if so, why?
No, I mean I think it has, but there's been moments where I feel like I was a little bit more concerned and consumed with trying to be perfect rather than, hey man, let's go out and compete and show my guys, my teammates that I love this game and that I'm passionate about it and I can lead them in any situation. So sort of just handling that mentally and getting back to that.
There's been some speculation whether you've been at 100% since coming back from the shoulder injury. Has it felt tight? I mean, how have you felt since coming back?
No, since I've been back playing, it feels good, and there's no doubt in my mind that there was still some injury with it or anything like that. When I got back on the field, man, I was good to go play. So,
Brock, the NFL doesn't give you a lot of time for reflection, but this is where it started for you professionally. When you think back to that Miami game, the first game that you played in the pros, what stands out? What are your that day?
I mean, yes and no. I mean, physically, like when they're, bringing the house and they're for, as a rookie, it can, sort of be tough to, set my feet, throw accurately, get the ball off, throw on time. All those things are a little tough, but at the same time, if you complete it, it could be, big gash plays and stuff. So it's hit or miss with that. But, looking back on it, I understand why they did what they did. A rookie quarterback getting thrown in, not knowing that he's going to play in that game, and try to heat him up. So I get it, but here we are 2 years later, interested to see what they're going to do for this one.
See, you got to see Marino at FaceTime, I think, last season. Have you met him in person since then?
Nah, I haven't met him in person.
He's supposed to be there. That's
Yeah, maybe. If that happens, that'd be sweet.
That's a stupid question. Oscar.
Damn right.
Also stupid.
I felt bad.
Um, I'm not sure any quarterback loves the Rams. Legendary quarterback. But it's been Brock Brett, Brock Pat. Do you feel like seriously precipitation?
No. I mean, I think any person that's throwing an object in, the rain. And throw differently in the rain. You can't just get back there and be as violent as you normally are, and ball can come out and all that kind of stuff. So it's like it comes down to sort of learning how to handle those kind of environments and finding a way to complete the ball, move the chain, stay on the field, put up points. Those are all things, man, that you sort of just got to learn as you go. And so, for me, and if I see bad weather for a possibility in a game, I don't freak out or anything. It's just like, all right, how can I, be better and learn from, games that I've played in those kind of, situations or environments. So that's how I look at it. And for me, I can play in it. So thanks, guys.
Okay, that was Brock Purdy. Talking to the media earlier in the day as the 49ers getting ready to take on the Miami Dolphins for an interconference matchup. It's going to be the late window second game of the doubleheader, 1:25 p.m. Pacific. That game will be on CBS. Jim Nance and Tony Romo with the call, and on the Niners Radio Network with Greg Papa and Tim Ryan on the call. So as we continue, we will now focus in on our next segment on Niners Radio 49 as Nick Sorensen will the defensive coordinator, and talk about the Niners trying to finish strong. I mean, the best they could do right now, let's face it, the 49ers most likely will be officially mathematically eliminated from the playoff chase after probably by the earliest late night by the end of Sunday. George Kittle, which, by the way, excuse me, down there a little under the weather, a little cold. Isaac Garando with the hamstring injury, most likely he will not going to play on Sunday, and the Niners are down to another running back. Just the injuries continue to pile up, and we are going to continue on our 49ers Live tonight. All right, we apologize for the technical delays. We're just having some technical difficulties, but we're going to get you right back out. We could continue on Niners Radio 49. We'll pull up that video in just a few moments. We're going to take a timeout. We'll get you that video as soon as it's available with George Kittle and the others talking about the upcoming game between the Niners and the Miami Dolphins this Sunday. So let's take this time out. Professor B here in San Francisco on Niners Radio 49. Let's
every single day for what it is.
Goes around to talk to people about things like that, about motivation, or is this a pretty self-motivated group?
You know what? I speak to guys sometimes that I feel like might need a little bit of encouragement. But I would say a majority of the guys, like, they get it, and they get that. You're playing for this Sunday, but you're also playing, and your film's on tape. Coach Shanahan's watching, all the coaches are watching. Like, you don't want to go out there and just put a dud on tape any day that you're ever, get the opportunity to lace up your cleats and your pads. So I think this is a very self-motivated group, and I'm looking forward to a great practice today and then a great game on Sunday.
Jalen Moore has really grabbed his opportunity this year. What have you seen from him? I know you worked some of those combo blocks with him. What have you thought of his play so far?
You know what? Back during training camp, everyone asked me, how worried I was about Trent Williams not being here, and I was just, I'm excited for Jalen to get the reps because there's going to be a point in the year where we're going to be playing alongside him, and I'm going to need him to be at his best. And so I'm glad I got those reps in training camp because I think Jalen's done a good job. He took advantage of all those reps. I'd love to have Trent Williams playing because he's amazing, but I think Jalen's done a very, very good job about stepping in. He's been really good. In the run game, I think he's been very sufficient in the pass pro game, and he's a good energy out there too. So I've thoroughly enjoyed playing alongside of him.
It seems like he's really elevated his play versus times before when he filled in. Is that something that you've noticed as well?
You know what? When you get a handful of snaps, like if you just had to come in the fourth quarter for 6 snaps, that's really tough sometimes. But like when you get games after games and you kind of get your foot in, you get a rhythm, it makes it a lot easier. And I think he's just done a good job of every single week he comes in, he works on something get a little bit better at, whether it's his first step, whether it's his hands, whatever it is. But he's getting better every single week of practice, and then every game too, I think he's just gotten a little bit better.
You know that at the end of every year that there's going to be roster change. There's no question about that, win, lose, or draw. Is there such a thing as momentum to take into next season for the guys that you know are going to be here to kind of establish a culture moving forward for next year?
Yeah, I mean, I think you want to take advantage of these 3 games that you have in front of you, focus on one at a time. But like, I would much rather win these 3 games and go into the offseason feeling a little bit better. And hey, mathematically, there's a 0.1% chance that we somehow sneak into the playoffs. But hey, if we don't, I'd rather win those 3 games than stub my toe on all 3 of them. That sounds horrible. And you really just want to. Yes, there are changes, but a majority of the guys are going to be back. And I think I look back at 2017, we were a 1-10 football team. We won our 5 of our last 6 games, and just way more fun. You just have a better energy going into it, and also like if you're done playing in January, you're definitely there's a new hunger, I would say, for a lot of the guys who haven't been to the playoffs a bunch and stuff like that. They just they want to get there for the first time. So it'll be good for our group.
And is it a little bit of a positive thing when you think about how close those key games were, just one little play one way or the other, and we're having a different conversation right now?
Could be. I try not to look too much in the past. Yeah. Our record is what our record is, and a majority of it is what we did or did not do. And so there'll be a time to look back and all that and see what we could have done better, places that we could have played better, opportunities that we could have taken more advantage of. But right now all I'm focused on is going down to Miami and beating a lot of my old former teammates and coaches, which I'm really looking forward to.
I was about to ask about Mike McDaniel. You obviously worked with him for several years.
I did.
He's quite the character. Do you have any really good memories with Mike?
I just always enjoyed walking past his office on like a Monday or Tuesday while he was doing install of run plays, just asking what his thoughts were on the game plan. It's in his office for 5 to 10 minutes. I always enjoyed doing that. My tight end coach is down there, John Embry too, which I'm excited to see him. Coached me for my first 5 years. Close with him. Wes Welker's down there. Got a lot of guys down there that I'm good friends with. So just excited to see everybody. And I think we're 2-0 against them so far. So let's keep that train rolling.
I still remember Embry. I thought fined you guys $10 every single time that you ran out of bounds.
Yeah.
What was the other stipulation?
If I jumped while catching the ball, because he said keep your feet on the ground because you can go faster.
So looking back on that now, you're obviously the perennial all-pro player. Those were the initial NFL lessons, though. So do you feel that some of that did really instill the habits that you needed to reach the level that you consistently have reached?
You know what? I think Coach Embry did a great job about, show me the ropes, kind of throwing me a life vest because I was kind of thrown out to sea, when you started as a rookie. But he instilled a lot of awesome things that I still do to this day. Catching, running, not running out of bounds. Just like he helped me establish my mindset that allowed me to become the player that I am today. And I owe a ton of my success to John Embry. And he's basically my dad of the NFL. If you take my dad out of it, but close friend. We always talk all the time throughout the seasons, and it's always fun to I'll get a random coaching point from him at like 5 a.m. our time, 8 a.m. Miami time. It says your footwork was trash last week. You got to fix your stance. You got to step like this, and I always appreciate those coaching points.
George, Curtis is nominated for Walter Payton Man.
That he is,
and I see you at a lot of community events with him. And he's somewhat quiet. How do you see him come alive at these events?
I think one thing he does is he makes everybody that he interacts with feel very welcomed and loved. And I think that's a very special talent. Not everybody can do that. And he does it from a place, too, where he's not like a perennial household name where he's just relying on, hey, everybody knows who I am. He does such a good job about communicating with people that he's talking to. If he's talking to a family, talking to mom, dad, their kids, getting to know them. I think he just does such an excellent job about that. And also, he just makes himself available all the time. He's also our NFLPA rep, so he does that stuff. But he's always available to all the guys in the locker room, to the families, anybody that he's talking to. He makes them feel very welcomed.
He will get a giant contract coming up.
That he will.
I don't pay attention too much to the internet, but...
You don't?
I try not to. But
Okay,
there are some people that are saying that 50 to 60 million is too high. What is your counter argument to that?
Well, the good thing for me is that I don't have to do this contract. That's not on me, and that's on the organization and the guys on the other side of the aisle. But you know what? I think Brock said nothing but play at a very, very high level. And the nice thing about contracts is when you play at a high level, you can compare yourself to other people in the league. And when other guys are getting paid $50, $60 million, and you're a better quarterback than they are, hard not to get that same amount of money. And I don't know what Brock's going to do. I think the Niners are going to figure something out to be as team friendly as you possibly can, but still reward him for the things that he has done and the things that he's going to continue to do for this organization.
What about the intangibles that he brings to the table? I mean, yes, there's play, but there's all the things that people on the outside don't see.
Oh, Brock's what, 24? I mean, he's not a kid, but he just has a lot of growth and maturity left in front of him too. So I just think he's going to continually get better and better. And each year you're just going to see a better version of Brock. And, the more mature he gets, I think the more vocal he'll be as a leader and stuff like that too. And I think he does a good job of that already. And I think he's taken a step forward in that this year specifically. But I think next year too, he's just going to come back and be even more of a vocal leader for us.
Nick talked about how challenging it is for defensive linemen to come into this system and really play well. It feels like you guys are kind of hitting your stride at this point. Why does it take a little bit of time to get used to this type of attack from Chris Kasarik?
I think just the standards here are really high, and you got great players like Nick and Flo and Malik and guys all across the D line. The standards only rise higher, so just everybody's got to follow along. Everybody's got to uphold the standard. Next man up.
Several months under your belt, what is the single biggest challenge moving from an outside linebacker type of role to 4-3, the end in the hand of the dirt?
You lose a little bit of vision, but you get to attack more. So I don't want to say there's anything easier or harder about it. It's just different.
Nick Sorensen was just talking about how it's nuanced. There's different things where you feel like you're attacking, but then once you look at it, what they ask you here is a little bit different. Is that true?
We attack. Well, we are up front. We attack. So, we're getting after it.
Yeah, Nick tried to explain that sometimes guys take maybe a half a season to kind of really get up to speed and what is asked of a defensive lineman here.
Yeah, it was my first season. It's my first time in this game, but obviously dealing with injuries and stuff. But came back and we are hitting our stride, so we got to finish out the season strong.
I suppose the sad irony of that is as you're starting to get those things all figured out, unfortunately, it looks like you got just 3 games left in the season. You'd like to have something going on at this point.
Definitely would like to be in a better position, but going to go out there like we're still, 0-0, try to get this next win.
Is it such a thing as momentum to take into next season if you guys finish the season positively? Is that a factor potentially?
I think maybe for some guys, I'm really just focused on next week. Focused on dominating Miami Dolphins, and then whatever comes next is what comes next.
I know you haven't played a lot with Dre Greenlaw, but what was it like to have him back on the field? Did you feel the energy difference?
No, for sure. It was dope. Didn't really get to see him practice all year. So when he got out there, you could feel the juice, the energy, and then obviously he was playing great. So it was awesome to see. I'm looking forward to seeing it again next week.
How impressive is it that one guy can kind of bring that extra juice that he did to the defense?
It was really impressive. I don't want to make it sound, that's what they say about him. So I don't want to make it sound like that's the expectation, but it kind of was.
Given the fact that you missed some time earlier this year, how's your body feeling now in December versus other Decembers when maybe you had some more bruises at this point of the year?
I feel good. Yeah, like you said, usually I was playing for 14, 15 weeks, so my body feels pretty good right now.
Right, with all the time that you've been in the game now, with Trent Williams being out, how much more comfortable are you out there?
It's always good to get a rhythm going and, get a few snaps in a row under your belt. Pretty comfortable. Not that I wasn't, but, it helps.
You're setting yourself up for, with all these starts and the good performance, setting yourself up for, you're a free agent next year. Do you have have you been looking ahead to that at all? Or are you focused on what's happening in front of you?
Yeah, I'm just taking it day by day, game by game, just trying to help get us some wins under our belt. We still got a chance, so just trying to help us push forward.
Trent Williams hasn't been out there, but has he been in your ear a lot during the games, around pre and post?
Yeah, definitely. Whenever he's around, I get a chance to talk to him and bounce feedback and, just kind of collaborate on things, even though he's dealing with his thing or whatever.
Does anything stand out to you about Chop Robinson's game?
He has a really good get off, low pad level guy. I think it'll be a real good battle.
George Kittle was just saying nice things about you. That he said that all the work you got in training camp kind of enabled you to step into this position that you're in right now. How do you feel like you've grown with this group and kind of adjusted to all the demands that this offense has to offer?
I've been in the offense for 4 years now, so, of course, all that time, you get more and more comfortable with all the little nuances, and, being out there going against our ones every day in training camp definitely helped.
How much has Chris Forster changed and shaped how you are on the field now?
He's taught me so much over these 4 years that, I don't even know where I'd be in my game without him, honestly. It's been a huge help.
You said it's kind of too early to think about what's going to happen next year, but the chance that the playing time that you've had certainly gives you leverage moving forward to help you with whatever your decision is moving forward, I guess, huh?
I hope that it does. That's the plan.
Okay, so that was the players from, including George Kittle, the ultimate. Excuse me. Battled through a little bit of a cold. I apologize for the inconvenience. Talk about how important to finish this game is. As the Niners get ready to take on the Miami Dolphins interconference matchup, we're going to hopefully try to get somebody from the Miami Dolphins for our podcast, and our kickoff time again 1:25 is the kickoff. The 49ers pregame show this Sunday will be at 10 a.m. That'll be at 10 a.m. and then around 12 noon, those sitting over there at the Hard Rock Stadium in South Florida, the 49ers and the Miami Dolphins battling in interconferences. Both two teams are on life support. Both most likely will not make the playoffs this year. And, the Dolphins had their share of injuries as well. Tui Tufunga missed some games with the concussion for the umpteenth time. So this is a way I think the Niners want to try to at least salvage the season, try to salvage for some pride, and try to look forward towards 25. And, with all the injuries now, we get the bad news. Isaac Garando goes down with a hamstring injury, and he's not going to, most likely will not be playing on Sunday. So we are now going to go into our next segment on Niners Radio 49, and we're going to take it back in time. We're going to coming up, we'll take it back to 1994, week number 16. The 49ers taking on the Denver Broncos in an interconference matchup, and this was played on December 17th, 1994. This was from a week 16 game. The Niners coming in there with as they come in there with a 12-2 record, taking on the Denver Broncos. We're getting ready to show you those clips in just a few moments. So we just got that footage in too soon, so we apologize for that. Was the previous week against the San Diego Chargers in week number 15. The Niners won that game by a score of 38-15. Deion Sanders had a pick six, his third interception of the game in what would be a preview of Super Bowl 29. They beat the Chargers 38-15. for their 9th straight win. So we're going to get ready to show you the highlights of that game. We're going to get ready to show you the highlights for that game in just a few moments. We're just queuing it up, so we're going to you guys are going to like this clip, the 49ers Broncos at Candlestick Park. And this game was, by the way, played on a Saturday afternoon. Two teams in similar opposite directions. The Denver Broncos are fighting for their life to stay in the playoff chase in the AFC, while the 49ers, the hottest team in pro football since that Philadelphia Eagles loss, were currently on a 9-game winning streak. And so we're getting ready to show you that clip right now. Niners and Broncos and here we go.
Next up were the Denver Broncos, who became San Francisco's 10th straight victim.
Young goes straight back to throw. Little short pass. Left. One-handed catch by Ricky. Breaks inside, dives into the end zone. Touchdown 49ers. What a play. Young drops back to throw. Some pressure from Hall. Goes deep middle. Touchdown 49ers. What a catch by Jerry Rice.
The 49ers' onslaught came from every direction, down to the devastating blocks by guard Derek Deese that blasted the way into the end zone for William Floyd. Then Ricky Waters added an exclamation point with his longest scrimmage play of the season.
Pressure. Pass across the middle. Caught by Ricky. Breaks loose. He's gone. You can't catch him. You couldn't possibly catch him.
With the win, San Francisco clinched the best overall record in the NFL and secured home field advantage throughout the playoffs. It was time to settle back, relax, and try to remain healthy in the season finale against the Vikings.
All right, so that was another classic by NFL Films from the 1994 49ers with a 42-19 rout over the Denver Broncos. By the way, this was the first time that these two teams hooked up in a meaningful game, interconference matchup. First time in the regular season since '88. This was the first time that these two teams hooked up since in the regular in a meaningful contest of any kind, either regular season or postseason, was back since the Niners annihilated the Denver Broncos 55-10 in Super Bowl 24 more than 5 years prior. And that was, of course, when Joe Montana would then throw a record 5 touchdown passes in that Super Bowl, which that record would eventually get eclipsed by Steve Young 5 years later in the Niners' 49-26 win over the San Diego Chargers in Super Bowl 29 down in Miami. So the 49ers, since that loss to the Philadelphia Eagles, and many people consider the low point of the season, went on now, extended their win streak to 10 straight games. They've averaged more than close to over 30 points a game as they clinched the best record in all of football. Of course, the number 1 seed in the NFC belongs to the 49ers, which will assure them that the road to Miami in Super Bowl 29 will go through Candlestick Park, as they now own the home field advantage throughout the playoffs. And we'll take a look at that score from week number So we'll take a look back at that game from week 16, and we're gonna we're gonna cut it right here, and so. So it was that was from Saturday, December 17th, 1984. The Niners win it 42-19. The kickoff time was a Saturday afternoon game, 1 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. The game time weather, 47 degrees, and it was cloudy, winds up to 8 miles per hour. The attendance was 64,844, 64,844. The game was on. The referee was Johnny Greer. The game was televised on NBC. The legendary play-by-play, the late Dick Enberg, along with Bob Trumpy. And then handling the sideline reporting is Jim Gray. So let's take you back to the stats, the recap of this game from Week 16 on that Saturday afternoon. Ricky Warriors had a 12-yard catch from Steve Young that put the Niners up 7-0. Then Young hooked up with Jerry Rice, another touchdown for the great Jerry Rice that made it 14-0. Then in the second quarter, William Floyd had an 11-yard rush, and it made it 21-0 49ers. J.C. Elam added a 28-yard field goal that made it 21-3. And then the Niners, a 1-yard touchdown run, 28-3 San Francisco at the intermission. Jason Elam got the Broncos back with got him on the board again with his second field goal of the day, 28-3. Then the third quarter, Glenn Milburn, and I'm trying to look at Glenn Milburn. Glenn Milburn had a as Glenn Milburn, the former, I believe he did he play at Stanford? I don't remember. I think former Stanford star Glenn Milburn had a touchdown run. Let me remove this and make sure Okay, we're having some technical difficulties. We'll be getting right back at it. Here we go. So we apologize for the delay. We apologize for the delay. So we got right back on it. All right, so we apologize once again for our site keeps on getting cut off. We apologize for the inconvenience. Those things happen, but so we are going to continue on Niners Radio 49. We're getting ready to wrap it up for tonight, as yours truly is just battling through the cold, just trying to I don't want to get nobody else sick, so. We'd like to thank you for all of us being on Niners Radio 49 tonight. We'd like to thank you for being on tonight. I'm battling through a cold, a little bit of this now. It is winter, and just fighting through this and just fighting through this. But we'd like to thank all of you for watching Niners Radio 49 tonight. We thank you for watching. We'd like to thank all of you. We just like to. So, we thank you very much for participating tonight, and we thank you very much, and in this holiday season. Reminder, I'm going to be putting up a 49ers special edition of 49ers tailgate show for this past week. We're going to have that. I will be placed up later on. We'll have another edition of 49ers Live tomorrow. We'll continue. We'll hopefully get somebody from the Miami Dolphins on to preview the 49ers and the Dolphins in this interconference matchup. And then we'll go to this little history between these two long-time historical rivals between these two when we have of this interconference rival. So we'll be back on for 49ers Live tomorrow. So we'd like to thank all of you for watching. Catch us on youtube.com/@NinersRadio49. And also on, we got a stream on Niners Radio and Facebook.com/@NinersRadio49. And our goal is to try to get all the subscribers in and just to continue to build this platform. Get 1,000 subscribers. We got one more tonight. So that is, we're getting close towards, I think, 200 subscribers. So this takes a lot of time to build, and we're going to keep on building, keep grinding, keep on building it. So I'd like to thank you for watching 49ers Live tonight, and thank you for joining us. Again, check all the latest news and so much more. Go to 49ers.com and check us out at youtube.com/@NinersRadio49. Special shout out to the San Francisco 49ers, 49ers.com for the video footage rolling, give you all the clips of what's going on behind the scenes there in Santa Clara. Though we're not, right at this time, we're not able to get down there. We'll hopefully one day get the chance to go down there soon. So for all of you watching, Professor B signing off, and so long. Thank you for watching 49ers Live tonight on Niners Radio 49. 49ers Live tonight is a presentation of Niners Radio 49. Here's the voice of the network home of champions. 49ers football faithful to the Bay. Have a very pleasant good night, everybody. Take care.